Hey, you guys. All right, this is hands down my favorite lesson to teach people right out of the gate. If they are considering any kind of improvement in their wellness, their mental health, their holistic well-being, or frankly, they want to stop having temper tantrums and losing their cool. This is so simple. Kindergartners understand it. It is taught in school, and we as adults have got to do a better job in understanding how our bodies work before we try to fix our emotional states and regulate what we're doing. Feelings and behaviors come second to understanding how our systems work. Because when you understand what's happening inside your body, then you can take a moment and regulate how you respond to it appropriately, right? And so the reason I left mental health is because I so believe that we are flawed at the base of our approach on things. We are a society who is symptom management. We have a pain, we take a pill. We're fixing the problems that are the outside expression of the internal issues, right? So instead of symptom management, I want to teach you systems maintenance. I want you to understand how your brain works on a basic level. I'm not a neuroscientist. I'm not a scientist at all. But there are some fundamental breakthroughs that have occurred in science that really help us understand how gut modulation impacts our brain and how our vagus nerve and our cortex between our belly and our brain are chemically responsible for our moods. But today, I'm going to teach you something super simple and so cool. It's called Dr. Dan Siegel's hand model of the brain. Okay. And what this does is it explains our animal response, our fight, flight, or freeze, which is in our amygdala and our limbic system. That's our lizard brain that evolutionarily is there to keep us alive, right? So back in the day when there was a saber-toothed tiger, our heart rate would go up. We'd sense it somewhere in our body that we were in danger, and we would run, or I guess kill it and eat it. I don't know. I wasn't around back then. But our body, our physical body, would give us a warning: fight, flight, or freeze. Over time, our rational brain developed and took over. And so now, when we have that feeling in our body, if we're engaging our reasoning brain, we take a moment and look around and say, oh no, wait, let me take in the information from my surroundings and assess the whole thing. Let's assess the entire picture instead of just that feeling, or just that mean word the person said, or just the situation. Okay, so the way the hand model of the brain actually works is, imagine this is my spinal cord, right? So it's facing the same way I am, same orientation. My wrist is my brainstem back here. Attached to the brainstem is our limbic system. That's our animal brain, our lizard brain, our fight, flight, or freeze. And wrapped over the top of it is our cortex, our prefrontal cortex, our frontal cortex, our reasoning brain, our emotional intelligence, our intelligence, our observation, our ability to take in what's going on in the environment and piece together the truth of what's occurring instead of instantly responding. Now, emotional intelligence, mental wellness, mental fitness helps strengthen this closed bond. Okay. And so this is where meditation practice comes in. This is where self-awareness comes in. This is where learning how to examine the way you're speaking to yourself or the way that you're responding in certain situations helps keep this closed. Because you know what happens when your rational brain becomes detached? You flip your lid. This is fight, flight, or freeze. So if those signals are not strong, holding together your rational brain connected to your brainstem, your lizard brain is always going to take over because it's there to save your life. It is a good thing, right? At the core of it all, our body wants to stay alive. But what's happening is we are being bombarded with exponential volumes of information that all feels imperative. Our heart rate is always going up. How many times a day do you feel threatened? Right? But it could just be a snarky word from somebody or something in the news media or a Facebook post. A snotty look in the store suddenly now has us on alert. And this increase in our connection to everybody through this forum, social media, or the news, 24-hour news cycle, really obviously has a lot of benefits. But what it's doing is it's really connecting our threat signals significantly more. And so we're finding ourselves being real reactionary, and everything feels like a threat or a crisis, right? We are constantly like this throughout the day. That increases our secretion of cortisol, which is our stress hormone, which not only continues to keep stress in our body, but it contributes to inflammation and body fat, belly fat, specifically the belly fat. And so having this understanding of what is actually occurring helps you commit to the practice of mindfulness. It really, if you understand that taking the deep breaths and learning to try to understand where the person's coming from before you react, then you're able to mitigate situations. And eventually what happens is the stronger that stress resilience occurs. And so what you're doing is you're elongating that time period from the activating incident to how you respond. That timeline you're increasing through mindfulness, through diet, learning how what you eat impacts literally these neuropathways, your neurotransmitters that are made in your belly. This is what you're impacting, right? So if you're not eating a great diet, supplement properly. Learn how to supplement. I will teach you. We're increasing that timeline from the activating event to the response. And then things feel less stressful. What happens is, as you learn how to rationalize all of those events that are still coming at you, life doesn't change. We have no control over how stressful life is, but we can control how stressful it feels, because you start to realize the snarky look in the grocery store isn't a threat. Eventually that stops signaling warning signs inside your body. The snarky comments on Facebook or the news media, eventually you stop watching it because you realize it's not a real threat. And that all occurs by strengthening the neural pathways between your prefrontal cortex, your frontal cortex, and your lizard brain, right? So that is Dr. Dan Siegel's hand model of the brain. And I'll just mention quickly, not only is it super effective to teach children about, let's not flip your lid. How can we learn how to strengthen your lid, get your hat to fit better? It's very, very helpful for a parent to address their child after the parents lost their cool, because not only are you able to explain what happened, but it humanizes you a little bit and opens up the conversation of, listen, we all struggle with this stuff. I am sorry I flipped my lid. I should have walked away, or I should have listened better, and I will work on that. And it opens the door to a conversation in a way that they understand, and it's non-threatening. Okay, guys, I hope you found that helpful. Let me know if this is information that is of use to you, if you've ever heard it before, or I don't know, give me any feedback you want. All right, take care. Bye.